Hi guys, so I wanted to share with you, I've been looking at getting a rig to hold all my Chia drives, certainly the ones I've got so far, and I believe it would come from China, and it's got about a month or 2 month delivery wait. It's one that I've seen on the Poor Investor, although I've been looking at it for months and months and months, but I know Poor Investor, I think, has actually bought himself one at the moment. Now, not only was it a 2-3 month wait time, but it was about £132, which I think is about $150, $160, something like that. So I wanted to see if there was anything else that I could do similar. I've got my current rig set up in a hard drive, standard sort of ATX large Corsair case at the moment, and that's how I've got the drives, and I've got the drives on top. Hopefully you'll see that in another video. So this was about trying to get an open air bench. I'll try and include a photo so that you can see that. However, as I said, the delivery times were long and the cost, although in the grand scheme of things, when you're looking at server costs and things like that, it's not too bad, sort of £100, £130. But I wanted to see if there was any other way of doing it. Now, I found online, because of the cost of mining, etc. at the moment, I was looking at rigs like this, which is normally a GPU mining rig. I've mocked it up at the moment with an old motherboard I've got. But this is very similar to the hard drive rigs that they're selling for Chia. So it's sort of a similar length, and you can see here this is normally where you'd have the hard drives, the graphics cards connected up here, and then you've got a support along here where the graphics cards would sit, and there's a little rubber or foam pad that goes on here, which I've not actually fitted yet. So the graphics card will screw into here, sit in here, and then connect to the motherboard, and then power supply goes in this section here, and then there's space along here for one sort of 3.5-inch hard drive. So this was very similar to the rigs that I've seen, except you've got this height here and then sort of half height here. I found these for under £13, so £12 something, which I guess is probably, I don't know, $20, something like that. And I thought, well, I've got this connection, I've got this side here, so if I were to buy two, maybe bolt them together, then I would have one this side and then one the other side. And then the actual mining rigs that I've seen have bars that basically go across from this side across to the other side, and then the hard drives bolt and almost hang down, supported by these bars underneath. So I thought, if I get two of them, I can maybe bolt them together, and then this length will still be the same because it fits four fans on the end here. I don't know whether 120 or 140 mil. I'm going to guess 120. It fits four fans along here, which is exactly the same as the rigs that I've already seen. So in terms of this length, it's the same. This way it would be a bit wider, but I thought maybe either that would give me some additional space for cables, or just a bit more space for airflow, and also give me a bit more space underneath to fit some hard drives underneath. Because the rigs that I was looking at, I think they quoted as if you use a normal ATX power supply, they will hold 34 drives, and that's 20 odd on the top, and then there's space underneath that makes up the total of 34 drives. So I thought, well, if it's a little bit bigger, no problem, it'll just give me a little bit extra drives to hold. So so I ordered two of these, under £13 each, so around 26 pounds, British pounds, that it's cost me to buy, which obviously is considerably cheaper than you know, the 135 pounds that it would have cost me. Plus these were delivered within a day or two, rather than having to wait a month, 2 months for it to get delivered. So there's holes along this bit here, and I've bought some nuts and bolts that I'm going to try and secure and bolt one side to the other. This is the one that I've pre-made up, but when you buy it, it comes in a box like this. So I'm just going to get this out of the box. Apologies, I'm doing it with one hand. So it all comes flat packed like this, and you just have all the pieces connected. You have all the bits loose that you need to connect. That's the foam pad that's got some sort of double-sided tape on there, and then that would stick down on the center bit to give you some you know, some vibration protection for, in this instance, the graphics cards to fit on, but obviously what I want to use it for is the hard drives. So you get you don't get two, it's just you get one, but I haven't put them on here yet. So one is for this kit and one is for this one. And then you get this pack here, which contains some of the smaller connection bars. I was quite impressed actually for £12, 12 or 13 British pounds. I was really impressed. It's quite solid. It's quite solid metal. It's really strong once you put it together. And it's always the way when you're trying to do stuff. It always will not come out. Okay. Okay, so in this yellow bag that you get this little sealed packet, which has a power switch, because obviously when you're connecting your motherboard outside of a case, you're not going to have a way. Some motherboards obviously you have a power switch on, or you can jump it via the cables. I know some people do that, but it's nice in what is a relatively you know, cheap thing to get a power switch. You know, it saves you a couple of quid to having to buy one. So it's nice that you get a power switch in there. You then get the screws to actually bolt the thing together, and then I believe you get screws to mount the you know, what this is designed for, which is graphics cards. You get the screws to mount those on top of there. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to use these for the hard drives. I don't know whether the holes are going to be the same, but if I can, great. If not, then, you know, just some extra screws to be able to use for something. And you also get the motherboard mounts that you can see in there, the motherboard risers to mount the motherboard to the bottom of this, so it raises it up, because obviously this is all metal, so you're not going to want any metal bits, any electrical bits to touch. And then you also get, if you can see it on this side, excuse if I'm sniffling a bit, guys, got a bit of a cold at the moment. You also get in here as well this little black mount, which is this mount here, and that's for the power supply. So you just screw that on the side, and then your power supply will go in here, and then you can screw that on there. And then you get you know, sort of basic instructions on how to put the thing together. Yeah, so you just get basic instructions on how to bolt the thing together, but it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, so the hard drives, or the plan is to kind of mount them here. Now, the other issue I've got with attempting to do it this way is that it doesn't come with the bars that the other kits have that go across to actually mount the hard drives onto. So I've looked at various options, either buying some metal. Now, in some places in the world it might be relatively cheap to do that, but the places I've looked, for me to buy enough metal to actually do it, it's going to be about £70, which, you know, then makes it pointless doing this, because I'm nearly spending as much money, I might as well buy it in the first place. And then I looked at maybe doing it with wood, but the wood is going to be quite thick, and again, it's not entirely that cheap. So the idea I come up with was I bought some. It's probably about 3 meter long plastic sort of L. I've bent this out of shape, but normally that's normally it's a right angle plastic things. Now the plan was I've cut this to length so that it can be bolted in that end, and then go across and bolt on the other one of these once I've connected it up. The plan is to kind of bend this back and forward and hopefully break it down the joint so that I would get effectively two bars to use across. Now, not only has that proved very difficult to try and do, but it weakens it quite a bit. And obviously with the hard drives being connected, I want it to try and be certainly as secure as possible, but not rigid. Having a little bit of flexibility is good, so that all the hard drives, because you're going to have hard drives quite close to each other, to take a bit of the vibration, so that so that it's not vibrating all the way through, is probably not a bad thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to keep keep it at a right angle, not bend this, so that it has some structural rigidity, and then just basically screw that in here, screw it in the other end, and then put the holes through here to actually bolt the hard drives onto. That's kind of the plan anyway. This is as far as I've got at the moment, but before I built the second one up, I just wanted to get a video and show you guys sort of how it comes and the bits that you get, and kind of what the plan is really. And then have a go at it and see how we get on. Now, I know there's a good community out there already for Chia and in the IT space. So if there's any advice, if anybody's got any better ideas, anything like that, then stick your comments in. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and if you want me to do some more content. I'm going to be doing this anyway, because I don't think there's enough. I've been into Chia right from the start, and I think it's a really good project. Not just about the money and the finances. It's a nice project to be involved with. If we can make a living or an income on it, and on the way as well, then of course we're not gonna say no to that. But yeah, I wanted to start some content, start some ideas, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that's doing exactly the same as me. If you're not an IT professional, if you haven't got the knowledge on on server equipment and stuff like that, which I haven't, and I've tried, I've sort of had 20 or 30, or it might have been 40 actually, SAS drives, and I've really been trying to get those working. I've bought different types of SAS adapters and stuff like that. Some of them have needed memory modules and stuff, which I've not been aware of, so they've basically been a waste of money because they've not come with the memory modules. Some of them have worked. I've got an expander card, and that registers some of the drives, but not all of them. So there's a big difficulty along with that. And the potential is there. I know there's some, I think it's NetApp caddies that you can get that have sort of got 24 drives, and potentially I'd like to do something like that. But again, restrictions on finances to do it, and also the knowledge. I'm reluctant to spend money on stuff if I'm not gonna, if I'm not gonna know how to use it, if I'm not gonna know what it's compatible with. So any tips or advice on that, then great. Like I said, guys, I'm going to try and create some more content. Just be chatting about Chia, talking through my own experience, my own setups and stuff that I'm trying to do. because like I said, I'm sure I'm coming across a lot of the issues and problems and challenges that everybody else is facing. And there's some great channels out there, like I mentioned earlier, the Poor Investor, Caleb Curry. I know he's moving on to the Chia project now, but he was one of my inspirations back at the beginning. There's quite a few. Caleb Curry did the Coin Breakthrough channel, by the way, if you don't know. And there was there's a couple of other YouTubers out there, but not a great deal. And I've heard one or two people, certainly one or two other British channels talking about it, and they've not even called Chia. I think they called it Chia, or they called it something weird. But my understanding is that it's called Chia. That's what I've always called it. That's what I hear other people calling it. So that's what I'm going to continue to call it. So yeah, I just wanted to create another voice out there, some more activity and interest in Chia, and hopefully gain my own knowledge. Hopefully come across problems and solve issues and problems that I'm having and that a lot of other people are having, so that we can kind of come across it together. So yeah, like I said, subscribe. Check out the other Chia channels out there already, as I'm sure you probably already have. And I'm going to try and keep up to date with what I'm touching with the Chia news and any updates and stuff that's been going on, and go from there. Thanks guys, appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and talk to you soon. Cheers guys, take care.